Guys, so I'm doing a new segment called the 25 Days of Sketchmas. So basically I have 25 sketches, and for the month of December, every day until the 25th I have a sketch for you. So today's sketch, let's see, we'll zoom in. So basically, it is an A2 size card base. Then you're going to have a layer that is 5 1/4 by 4. Then you're going to have 3 mason jars or canning jars. You could use a stamp, a punch, a template, freehand it, or a die. I had to think of something else. And then you have a stamp or a die set that will create a label, and then your sentiment. And then these little circles down here are little embellishments that you can put inside the jar, but it's not technically inside, it's the outside of the jar. You'll see. And then on the rim there's a circle that will be another embellishment. So this, make sure you guys can see that real well. Okay, so this is my example of the sketch. Let's get a little closer here. There. So there's my example. I always see single canning jars or mason jars, and I thought it'd be really cute to have a group of them. So this is kind of my interpretation of the sketch. Kind of what, it wasn't really what I was thinking of as I made the sketch, but I think it was a good alternative, and I think it's very versatile. So even if you're going to do like a birthday or maybe Valentine's Day, you could just fill it with hearts or candles or, fun stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started on this card. So I went ahead and already made these jars, but I'm going to take an A2 sized card base, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I'm going to take some real red ink from Stampin' Up. I'm just going to go ahead and ink the edges. It's more like distressing the edges rather than inking. I think of inking as just run my ink pad over it, and then distressing is when I get my cotton ball. Or you can get a tool, and I just kind of go and make the edges all hazy looking. That's the correct term, And then I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges as well, just to give it a little bit more oomph. I have a sleeping husband right next to me, so if you hear any snoring. And then I'm also going to put that aside. I'm going to take my 5 by 4 1/4 mat, and I'm going to go ahead and distress that as well, just to give it a little worn look. Just a real nice cover around those edges. You could even use like a brown or a black and make it even look like really vintagey. And you could even not do the edges. I mean, it's a sketch, and you can interpret interpretate. Interpret. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to use, well, I already did use this gingerbread stamp from Recollections. The Michael's, is it $1 or $1.50 bin? And I went ahead and stamped him out. And I went ahead and cut him out all the way around. Oh, see him? He's so cute. So yeah, I cut him, fussy cut him out. Then I inked him with some early espresso. I stamped him out in early espresso, and then I went ahead and did the inking around him in early espresso as well. So then we're going to take our mason jar stamp, which I used the Fiskars oh, does it have it? Vintage Jars. I used that stamp. I used this one right here. I also used the little label right here. But you could do a template, draw it, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So I went ahead and fussy cut that out in the same paper that I used as the background. So it kind of looks like the jar is see-through. And then I went ahead and inked the edges in black, just to give it a little bit more dimension, and so it would kind of mesh well. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put our little gingerbread men on our little mason jar. Or in our little mason jar. See, I am a big fan of mason jars. My kitchen has a ton of them. And I also have some in my craft room. Well, craft room. My little craft area. Craft corner. We'll just call it that. Because I live in a studio apartment, so it is a craft corner. So we're just going to put these little bodies any which way. Go ahead and turn them upside down. You know, when you put stuff in the mason jar, it just kind of rumbles around. Ah! He almost got away from me. Alright. I'm going to do one more. Little cute Gingies. Right. With his head down. Hopefully he doesn't get dizzy. Alright. So I went ahead and did a label with an O, which I spelled out joy for my sentiment. Let's see. But you could fit, probably, if you do smaller letters, you could do like believe, or maybe happy, or merry. You know, you don't have to do just a 3-letter word. I mean, it is quite versatile. And I went ahead and inked that up in black ink for the label. Did brown around the edge, and then I did a navy blue for the O to match the little snowflake that I'm going to put on the jar, like right here, which can be any embellishment, like a flower, or maybe I was about to say flower again, like a bow, stuff like that. Alright, so let's go ahead and put our card base on. And I'm using my Elmer's Craft Bond for all of this. And it is a fantastic glue. I know you guys have heard me say it like 1,000 times, but I am serious. If you want a good glue, go to Walmart. It's like $2.50, I think, for a tube. We're just going to go ahead and center that on there. And what is lovely about the liquid adhesive is you can move this sucker around as much as you want until it dries. Give it a good rub, and then we're going to go ahead and put our jars on. Give it a good coat of glue. See, it's a fast card unless you take the time to fussy cut everything. Like if you just stamp the jars on, it'd be really quick. Or if you just stamped the gingerbread on there, super quick. But I went ahead and did, you know, crap ton of fussy cutting. And then a good tip is to go with the first and the last mason jar, so that when you put your third mason jar in there, you'll know that they will all fit, and they'll be semi lined up that way. Oops. And I love this paper. It is from the Red and White Christmas from Recollections. And it's thicker than Paper Studio, and I love that. Because Paper Studio's papers are just so thin. Ah, I dropped it. Good thing it didn't break. Ha ha ha. Mason jar humor. Just give those a good squeeze. Make sure you get all these edges down. Oh no, a gingerbread came off. It's because my hands got all sticky. There we go. We like to rub our cards. Rub and pat. That's how you get your card to love you. What are you talking about? Alright, so now I'm going to put little snowflakes. Oops, that one's a little wonky there. Okay, now we're going to put our little snowflakes right on our mason jar lid. And you could do a tag. So many options, guys. So many. Like, I keep thinking, like, oh, you could do this and this and this, and I'm like, oh. So cute. I am so excited for this whole 25 days of Sketchmas. I don't know if that's, like, a thing. I just, like, out of the blue, I was like, well, I knew I wanted to do this 25 days of sketching of sketches, and then I was like, well, what if we do Sketchmas? Like, oh my gosh. So if it's a thing, I'm sorry, guys. If it's not, then awesome. I mean, and then look at my hands. Oh, it's from all the inking. So that's how you know you made a pretty cool card. It's when your desk and your hands are a mess, right? Alright, so here is our cute card. And then here's our other one. So there's my interpretation of the sketch. Bring in a little bit here. And then I'll show you the sketch one. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I used the Doodlebug Large Alpha for the joy. My bad, sorry. So I'm going to show you the sketch one more time. Okay. So once again, it's just an A2 card base, and then it's a 5 1/4 by 4 mat of any kind of paper. You could even do just like a black or a blue. It's up to you. And if you do any of these sketches, I totally want to see, and I'm hopefully going to make an Instagram. We'll see about that. If not, just do a video and, you know, hashtag a Sketchmas or, you know, crazy crafter, and then just link me. And then we're doing 3 mason jars and 3 embellishments, a sentiment, and then some little embellishments in the jars. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty cute, and I think you can make a lot of cute cards with that. So I will see you tomorrow for day number 2. Alright, have a crazy day. Not too crazy. Good crazy, not bad crazy. Bye.